Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Paranormasight. This is episode 7. I firmly believe that we will be finishing the game today. I promise. But been very exciting up to this point. Saba is here. Say hello.
Yep, ready to finish this.
Let's finish this very good game that no one cares about.
But they should care about.
What was the last thing? What was the last thing that happened again? Oh my god.
Last thing that happened.
Tetsuo got beat to death by his daughter.
Yeah, and the full story. We're here to figure out the full story.
Oh, right. Wasn't that the thing that I said that we would start today with? We would, instead of like rushing through it, we would read the whole thing and just swap back and forth every passage. Which one? Where was that? Was it this? No, that's not right.
No, it was incredibly long.
It was very long, but where was it?
I'm not sure. Nejima murders.
Wouldn't it be like wouldn't it be called like the Hanjo incident or whatever? Wouldn't that be what it was called?
Yeah. Some phenomena. I mean, you may as well just look through all of them at this point.
You think it'd be under phenomena?
Or maybe even in gameplay guides.
No, gameplay guides is like, well, maybe.
The records of fate, notes on curse bearers. No, yeah.
Yeah. Phenomena curses. The Hanjo incident. There you go. All right.
There we go. Do you see how freaking long that is?
It's very long.
Oh my god.
All right. So, do you wanna start us off? Do you wanna go first? We'll have you do like this, and then the next one, and then we'll switch.
Sure, but I don't know. I'm a little coffee today, so if I mute myself for a second, it's because of that. But yes, let's go. So, during the Edo period, a chain of events that occurred around a certain resurrection spell became the basis for the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. This was the story that takes place in the late Edo period. There was once a family that lived in a row house in Hanjo. The family consisted of a Netsuke craftsman named Jinkichi, his wife Koma, and their daughter Toki. They enjoyed a poor but happy existence. One day, they took in a man by the name who claimed to be...
Wait, what the hell?
I guess it's just Blank? I'm pretty sure it wasn't Blank last time.
I don't think it was. That's weird. I mean, it's what's his face? It's Seiman, right?
Yeah, Seiman, who claimed to be Shomiji. He was on the run, having barely escaped with his life from something or another, and wound up in Hanjo. The tough circumstances had left him sick and destitute. Jinkichi felt sorry for the man and decided to shelter him.
The stranger was deeply grateful for the kindness and care of Jinkichi's family, as without it he would have surely died, and told them thusly on the day of his departure, "I want to give you my thanks, but unfortunately I have nothing of value." He paused, then asked, "Is there anyone you want to bring back to life?" It turned out that the man's true name was Tsuchimikodo Seiman. It's Seiman. Hello, Sogaru. Welcome back, by the way. A descendant of renowned Onmyoji. I guess this just means multiple Onmyoji, right? Because it's not the descendant of a renowned Onmyoji.
Yeah, a descendant of renowned. It's just like powerful sorcerers. He's just a descendant.
No, I know what the word means, but I mean to say, like, I guess the multiple of Onmyoji is Onmyoji, right? Based on the grammar of this sentence.
I guess.
It's like how Pokemon is both singular and multiple, right?
Yeah.
And he had been researching the fabled Rite of Resurrection. For his crime in unearthing this forbidden rite, he was chased out of his family, but he wrote down everything about the spell in a book he named the Record of Fates while on the run. Whoever sought to perform the rite would need to kill people and gather their soul dregs. Seiman had only researched the rite out of the spirit of inquiry, but thought himself willing to use the right if it was for the sake of Jinkichi's family. However, Jinkichi shook his head. Sacrificing someone is unthinkable. We didn't help you because we wanted something in return, so you owe us nothing, he said, declining the unbelievable offer. Saemon bowed his head in gratitude countless times at those words and left their house.
Wow, see, they did the right thing and they got screwed over for it.
Well, not yet. We're getting there.
We're getting there. In the same area, there lived an ukiyo-e artist known as Old Man Kanzo. His art didn't sell much, but he often looked after Toki while Jinkichi and Koma were out, working. Young Toki heard Saemon talk about the rite of resurrection, but being too young to comprehend it, regaled it to Old Man Kanzo as a story of fiction. Old Man Kanzo, inspired by the story and filled with renewed vigor, put his heart and soul into his next painting. The piece, centered around the theme of resurrection, became an instant hit in town. Jinkichi, being a shrewd businessman, saw an opportunity and jumped on the bandwagon by carving Netsuke connected to Old Man Kanzo's ukiyo-e. He made up stories about his Netsuke, telling the people that their blessings were connected to resurrection, and his business rapidly flourished.
Okay.
That man unknowingly left.
I thought we were switching.
I know, I didn't. I figured my section was kind of small, so I could do the one.
Sure.
After
If you want to do the next one, that's fine.
That man unknowingly left us a wonderful gift, thought Jinkichi and his family, but they were unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. Before long, word of Old Man Kanzo's wonderful ukiyo-e reached the ears of the local daimyo, and he was summoned to the Lord's residence. But what awaited him was not praise, but cruel torture at the hands of Ashino, a female onmyoji who was in pursuit of Saemon. It was her who pressured Saemon into researching the rite of resurrection, which she secretly planned to use to preserve her beauty for all eternity. Ashino took advantage of the fact that the daimyo's heart was weak and frail following the loss of his family and manipulated him into capturing Old Man Kanzo, the source of the recent rumors of resurrection. About resurrection. Tell me where you heard of the rite of resurrection, Ashino demanded, as the brutal beatings continued. It was said that the eerie sound of the beatings rang out like the beating of a taiko drum, night after night, reaching even the watchtower of Sugara residence. So that's the...
So I think that one's really interesting because remember that was like the legend was that why do they have a taiko drum instead of a wood block? Isn't that weird? But it wasn't actually them hitting the drum, it was them beating a man to death, which sounded like the drum. It's like, Jesus Christ. Here for the supposed finale of my favorite game, Paranormasight. Well, thank you, Mikey. It's nice having you here. All right.
It's nice to know this game is appreciated as it
should be. It should be. It's much better than it's much better than the garbage we were playing yesterday.
Oh my god.
All right. In the end, Ashino's cruel torture secured her the information on Jinkichi's family and the existence of the Record of Fates. The daimyo sent his chief retainer to bring in Jinkichi, and the torture resumed afresh. I hate that word, afresh, with the new captive. This time, she intended to obtain the whereabouts of Saemon and the location of the Record of Fates. Jinkichi didn't know where Saemon went, but even if he did, he had no intention of telling and stubbornly kept his mouth shut. The torture was pushed too far, and Jinkichi was unintentionally killed before he spoke a word. The daimyo had Jinkichi's corpse hanged from a beech tree and declared that, unable to bear the guilt of the crime of deceiving the masses with false rumors of resurrection, Jinkichi had committed suicide. This too was all part of Ashino's plan to send a message to the common folk, especially the increasing number of those who sought the rite of resurrection for themselves.
And that's that's
Evergreen
mystery
Beach.
Of the beach, yeah. Okay, news of what happened to Jinkichi spread and people lost interest in the rite, wondering if the stories of resurrection were all but a lie. But rumors that the daimyo's word was perhaps not all that truthful spread quickly when a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief retainer's cold-blooded handiwork firsthand, and Hanjo fell into unrest once more.
Oh! When a dancer claimed to witness the chief retainer's cold-handed blade work. That's the lady who that's Fool's Procession. Remember, she was a dancer for the theater troupe, and she ended up like falling off.
The chief's retainer's cold-blooded handiwork is just him like beating or killing.
About the dancer. I don't.
No, I know. I agree with you. Yeah, that's the.
Then
the
why
dancer.
did you say, Saba? You gotta understand. You can't just like skip 3 sentences forward in the conversation and not expect me to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I know. Try to make. Yes, I agree with you. I'm just confused what she witnessed exactly.
She probably just witnessed him murdering someone, right? That'd be my assumption. Yeah. Anywho, sorry. Please continue.
So the dancer. Okay. The chief retainer, we talk more about her. The chief retainer arrested the girl and proposed a deal to put a stop to the rumors. The girl was to say she just wanted attention and retract her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given a most wondrous stage to perform on, but when the day came, she was suffocated by the mask prepared for the performance. Unbeknownst to her, the mask had been covered in glue as a part of a plan to kill and silence her. And yeah, so her stage was like up high, right? And so she fell.
That was Fool's Procession where she fell to her death.
Yeah.
Is that coma or comma?
No, coma.
Coma. Coma never believed for a moment that her husband, Jinkichi, had committed suicide. She was certain someone was behind his death and asked around persistently for names, addresses, and any other information she could find on people with connections to the daimyo. So that's where that murder situation comes from, because she was collecting info on people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The chief retainer would not allow things to escalate any further and had Tomizu, a Ronin who once served as a spy, go after her. However, she turned the table on him, shouting, "It was you who killed my husband, wasn't it?" Confronted with the accusation, Tomizu flew into a blind rage and cut Koma down in broad daylight. Ordered to take responsibility for his failure by committing seppuku, he exposed the daimyo's plot as he disemboweled himself by the lantern of the soba cart used to give coded signals.
And so that's the ever-burning lantern.
So that's ever-burning lantern and one-sided reed at the same time. Because he killed the wife and she's one-sided reed, and then he's ever-burning lantern where he committed suicide.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
With both her parents gone through means unbeknownst to her, Toki found herself to be all alone. Especially the old man also is gone now as well. Mm-hmm. So everyone is gone. One day late at night, she went searching for her parents and met her doom, falling into a canal where she drowned. Meanwhile, the chief retainer had made no headway whatsoever in finding Seimon's whereabouts, and an incensed Ashino decided to set fire to his residence, burning him alive. That's the clappers.
Yeah.
So
that's Whispering Canal and Wooden Clappers, which is really weird because these are not related to each other directly, but yet they're one paragraph apart from each other.
Yeah. In truth, all those connected to these events thus far were cursed by Ashino so that their souls would turn into soul dregs upon death, which she had been collecting. All she needed to perform the rite now was to get her hands on the record of fates. Oh.
Sensing that there was something serious at work behind the recent string of strange events in Hanzhou, Seimon returned to find he was too late. He broke down in tears when he learned about the unfortunate and unnatural deaths of that Jinkichi's family had met. Seimon realized it was the handiwork of Ashino when he found their soul dregs had been collected and decided he had to prevent any further sacrifices from happening by confronting her on Hanyoji Bridge. One of the bridges that we've been doing a bunch. What ensued was a fierce battle of spells that endured till the break of dawn. Though those who did not know any better only saw what they believed to be eerie flashes and supernatural orbs of light, which is why he's the guiding light or whatever, right? That's why that's his spirit. At the end of the long battle, Ashino defeated Seimon and obtained the Record of Fates, but he had placed a curse upon her foot. Ashino dragged her foot, corrupted and horribly inflamed, and sought refuge at the nearby residence of a retainer and angrily demanded they wash her foot. Ashino died then and there, filled with agony, and her foot cursed and rotten. Seimon, too, having sustained serious wounds during their fight, died that day on Hoonji Bridge, still filled with regret.
Well,
So that's
there's Foot Washing Mansion.
Foot Washing Mansion is in fact the ultimate villain in the form of Ashino, and then the freaking guiding light, the last one I think that we've encountered, right? Because there's 9, and I believe the guiding light is the last one, right?
It's a spear. Yeah, I will say I am very satisfied that even though it was like just a curse on her foot, it still managed to like kill her.
I will say though that all of the other deaths are very peculiar to me, because I understand the idea of like, oh, they were cursed to die tragically by Ashino, but at the same time it is kind of weird that like the last 2 people to die in this circumstance died in like a fucking wizard duel. You know, like the idea that this game, once again, we know that ghosts are real, so obviously the paranormal exists. But the idea of like, hey, by the way, magic is real, is like, what? It's a little crazy. It's wizard time. That's Saman.
and it's like black magic too, right? So it's not just like
so
Eastern
the black magic is like Western magic, whereas these guys were also doing Eastern magic, which is like a different school of magic. And so it's like, wait, there's like multiple schools of magic. I guess it's all the same thing, but there's like
what? They've opened the universe to going, if they make any sequels, to be set in Western society, because guess what? They've already established black magic.
That is true. That is true. All right, feel free to continue.
However, Saman came back to life, knowing that there would be enough soul dregs in place during their confrontation. Oh, he had prepared a spell that would activate the rite of resurrection upon his passing. Feeling that his curiosity was responsible for the terrible tragedy that had unfolded, he was left with a keen understanding of why the rite of resurrection was forbidden and became determined to seal it away. Indeed, the reason he'd resurrected himself was for that very purpose. So the rite works.
The rite does in fact work. Once again, this is purposely vague in the sense of like, it didn't say that he was like fine. I still think that there's a catch. I think that he was revived in the form of a ghost, you know?
Maybe, yeah. And I mean, it is to say, like, there is still a confusion, not in terms of me, but it's like, technically the rite has nothing to do with the mysteries, right? So that those things aren't true, per se.
It technically does, right? Because the idea is that the rite of resurrection is its own Eastern-style ritual to bring a dead soul back to life utilizing soul dregs, right? So Ashino had this, like, cockamamie scheme to have a bunch of people die and have their souls turned into soul dregs, but because she was foiled by Saman, they were turned into cursed echoes instead of just regular soul dregs. But then he used those soul dregs anyway to revive himself so he could try to, like, seal away the rite of resurrection.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't need the cursed echoes to work, it's just the cursed echoes are how you get soul dregs normally. Or rather, it's like, it's the way for regular people to get soul dregs. So that way she didn't have to go around being like, hyper beam! And like blowing people up, you know?
Hyper beam.
All right. However, he did not know what had become of the Record of Fates. With nothing to seal away, he instead used the remaining soul dregs to turn 9 of the Netsuke made by Jinkichi into ritual implements to be sealed away in Hanjo. He placed these spells so that should someone try to activate the Rite of Resurrection again, all 9 pieces would awaken at once. And to pass the whole truth of these events to future generations, he wrote everything down in his Record of Fate's Yin scroll and passed it down to his descendants. Okay, so there you go.
Do you think like the Feast of Shadows is actually what triggered it?
I guess the first step of the Rite of Resurrection is the Feast of Shadows.
So then that's why all of the things triggered then.
I wonder, once again, this is all fake nonsense, right? But Mio knew of the Feast of Shadows independently. Like, that was just something that she knew by default. So I wonder if the Feast of Shadows is like the magical equivalent of bringing water to boil. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you kind of, like, wouldn't it be interesting if, like, a bunch of rituals require the Feast of Shadows? Because it's like, yeah, it's nice to get it all, like, stirred up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, if it's like a power boosting spell, you know? Yeah. Meanwhile, the townspeople kept silent about the incidents out of fear of being cursed. However, these occurrences were so strange that gossip about it couldn't truly be contained. Over time, the details became more and more vague as the stories grew into legends, and that is how they came to be called the 7 Mysteries of Hanzhou.
Is there anybody from that list that wasn't covered?
I don't think so.
Sorry, isn't it like...
Also, it's quite interesting. So Salmon made these guys. I guess it's like a double-edged sword. He made like these in order to be able to tell whoever came next how to seal it away fully, but they also can work to kill people.
Exactly.
If someone
They
uses
can
them for
also
wrong.
make soul dregs, which I don't know if that was his intention or if it was an accident. Okay, Whispering Canal, the young girl. Will's Procession was the woman who witnessed the murder of Evergreen Beach, right? Beckoning Light is
Yeah.
Saman himself. Haunting Clappers is the
Clappers.
retainer who
The Ashino burned his house
burned
because
his
she was
house,
pissed
but that
at
was
him.
before the wizard duel, so that's different.
Yeah.
Evergreen Beach was the dad who I don't remember. Oh, he got beat to death because they needed info, but then they beat him too hard. Very similar to the old man. Which
no,
is what the
Evergreen
Taiko
Beach was hanged.
No, Saba.
You hanged him, right?
Congratulations, Saba. You just fell for exactly what the daimyo wanted you to do. Remember the story that we literally just read was that he was
I didn't
beat
say
to...
he killed himself.
Saba,
But I just said he ended up hanged.
They beat
Oh
him.
my
They
God.
beat him to death. They accidentally beat him to death for info, and in order to cover their tracks, they pretended that he hung himself.
Sure.
Saba
continue.
is one of the village
So annoying.
people.
Just continue.
Go, shut up, Saba. Foot Washing Mansion is the wizard lady, so that one's that. One Sided Reed is the wife, and then Everburning. Who's Everburning Lantern? That was the Ronin that they
Everburning
hired.
Lantern started with the
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Foot Washing Man. It's interesting. So the most evil one technically is the Foot Washing Mansion.
It is
because
weird though
that's
that it's
Ashino.
not the most. Is that the most powerful one? Actually, I guess it is because of all of these, of like all of the things, it's the only one that you need a preternatural ability to avoid. That's kind of interesting
She's
when you think
crazy.
about it, right? Like you need to have the ability to turn off voices in a non-voice acted game in order to not die to Foot Washing Mansion. Man, Seinfeld really lucked out there, huh? Oh shit. I see.
What does it say?
First is a detailed account of the tragedy surrounding the rite of resurrection. Would that be funny if they just read it back and forth and we had to read it again? That occurred in Hanzhou back in the Edo period. The whole story of what we call the Hanzhou incident is laid out very clearly.
That incident was the origin of the 7 mysteries of Hanzhou and their curses, right?
No. It just moves on. He like doesn't address this question. Yes, the resentment of the victims of the incident turned into curses, which are the cursed echoes. The contents are organized like an answer sheet, so it doesn't just give us the information we need.
Ah. Is there anything else?
Iro, what are you looking at? Because you're clearly not looking at Mio because she's like half your height.
He's just thinking about stuff.
Yes, here's what we've been looking for. I bequeath this scroll to future generations to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident, it says.
Whoa. He foresaw all of this happening?
And it continues. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. Isn't this weird? Because isn't this exactly what was happening in Goody Two Shoes?
Yeah, you have to
Remember,
gather 3
like,
things.
gather these
So I don't
3
know if it's
items?
for cleansing. Yeah, I don't know if it's for cleansing or not, but it's like, yeah, gather 3 items specifically.
Gather my soul, that is my cursed echo, my body, that is a living continuation of my bloodline, and my mind, that is my own consciousness. So the third one I don't really know. So obviously the body is find a descendant. That's easy. My cursed echo, we
Cursed
got it,
echo.
baby. Like, that's easy. Tetsuo had. Well, actually, wait, what happened to all of the things that Tetsuo had? Who has them now?
I thought they were potentially just given to, like, the paranormal.
The paranormal
division.
bureau. Don't we have a list of
We're missing one. Yeah, it's in gameplay guides.
No, he still has them apparently.
I'm sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's quite a shame that he got the shit kicked out of him by his own daughter.
It's so weird because it's like, I guess it's literal versus perception, right? It's like the perception of you actually hiding something versus like, because no, Tetsuo, I guess it's a lie saying that he's not, when he says like, no, you're my daughter, but he could have meant it from like a symbolic standpoint, right? Which
because you're right. It wasn't necessarily about lying, right? It was about whether or not you were hiding something from them or not. And so I think that ultimately the thing that he was hiding is not necessarily whether or not Triangle Girl was his daughter. It was him not wanting to say that she's the resurrected, like the resurrected child of what's his of like Satan or whatever, right?
Yeah. So okay, it's creepy stuff.
It says the soul is Saemon's cursed echo.
Yeah. His curse echo. So Saemon himself is part of the 7 mysteries?
Now that you mention it, Mr. Raishi said something along those lines before. There's another hint written here. My cursed echo holds my curse. My curse brings ruin to curse bearers. That's
yeah, we know what it is.
About to say, congratulations, Gabe. I figured that out already. Could you imagine making
what kind of hint is this?
Could you imagine making it fucking this far into the game and not reading literally every single thing they put in front of you? Like,
yeah,
you know,
I know, man.
Would that be insane? What kind
maybe it'll
of
make sense as we keep looking.
Maybe they'll what?
This is my line.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought it was me. My bad. It was Iro. But will the cursed echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Next, my body is a descendant of Saemon's, it seems.
It says the, but maybe she is.
Whatever.
Wasn't Yoshimi a relative of Saemon? He and Michio Shiraishi, who had the other talisman, both of them are dead.
What about, wouldn't the mom be okay, though? Well, actually, we don't know if the mom is on the same bloodline, but she might be, right? Michio's mom?
Mikey, I would suggest reading. Reading is nice.
Both of them had already passed by the time this iteration of the curse was unleashed.
Dang, that's true. What are we gonna do?
Saba has said damn before on stream, but yet she refuses to do it now. His bloodline was so split up, there have to be others. Oh, there's another note here too.
Where? Is it another hint?
As for the body, seek not only one who bears my blood, but one with strong spirit.
Why is this? Why is this applicable?
Guess what, Saba? It's freaking Okie. We gotta bring him back.
Oh my god. Well, I find it really funny, right? Because this is like, yes, blood, and it's like, never mind, it's not about blood. It could just be someone with good power, with strong skills.
It said, wait, did it say or and?
What's it or?
Let's see. Not only seek one that bears my blood, but one.
So it has to be. Okay, so it's actually harder now, because not only do you have to seek a descendant, you have to seek someone.
They also have to have a strong spirit sense. Saba seems so calm and collected, but I bet when she's pissed, she fucking death metal screams like Retsuko. Yes. Believe me, as a person who has met Saba and hung out with her several times in real life, She's a fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm like. I've learned, I'm like, if I'm able to control myself, you'll get like the really kind of like deadly, like I'm looking at you and you know I'm gonna murder you. But I'm gonna be speaking very calmly.
But unfortunately, Saba has yet to discover how to get out from underneath the glass bowl that I trapped her under. So
I
we're all
know!
safe.
It's because I'm so short. Everything can contain me. What's the difference between the mind and the soul?
In paranormal theory, it's said that humans are made up of soul, body, and mind. That's also just like Christianity, I think. The mind is essentially thought to be the part of the spirit that makes up one's consciousness or one's self. It's like driving. The body is the car, the soul is the control system, and the mind is the driver.
I see. I think that makes sense. I don't know. It's going over my head, at least. So is there a hint for finding this one, too?
Well, let's see. There is. Should the rite of resurrection be activated elsewhere, so too shall my mind be awakened there. Saman tried to seal away the rite of resurrection, but before he could, Ashino stole the record of fates. So, as a countermeasure to the rite being activated, he made it so that his mind would be released from the seal.
So is he just possessing something? Like, what does that
guess
actually mean?
I guess he would be possessing someone, right? What it means is, Saman's mind awoke the night
there we
the
go.
rite was activated and must be possessing someone out there right now.
What?
But who do we know that's been acting mysterious?
But the thing is, we don't know some people, right?
Wouldn't it be fucked if it was the storyteller?
Oh.
Wouldn't that be
crazy? That'd be
Oh
crazy.
shit, Saba, what if it's us? What if we are the mind of Saman?
Oh my god, yeah, but we haven't really possessed anyone. I guess we're possessing people individually.
No, Saba.
Yeah.
We have been injecting thoughts into people's heads constantly, right?
I guess Saman's powerful enough to body hop. All right, so we have to find the cursed echo, the descendant, and the person possessed by Saman. So who do we have to switch to?
I have no fucking idea. I got nothing.
Bro, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
What do you mean Zach really is evil? What are you talking about? We are playing the good guy. What the hell? Saba's too small to possess anything bigger than a thimble. It's true. Not evil.
Evil.
What the fuck?
Evil.
That's not even how the chart works.
Evil. Okay,
Evil,
that's
evil.
one thing.
Right, but there's one more thing. The second and third ones could both be the same person. That is true. That is very true.
That is true. Ooh, but who could that be?
If it's like how Michio lost her memories when she was possessing Yako, Saman's conscious might not be aware of who it really is. I think it's us.
I wonder.
She looked at us! She's looking at
wonder.
us! So if he learned the truth, would he start to act on his own accord?
Oh, then that person could already be.
Oh, hold on a second. Someone's coming this way.
Huh? Excuse me.
Oh my god! Is this it's what's her face from the very beginning. It's Yoko.
Oh.
I knew it!
She's come back!
I knew that there was no way that such a 10 out of 10 design wouldn't come back.
Such a 10 out of 10 design.
Yo, look how fucking cute she is! Oh my god!
Could it just be her? Maybe her. Maybe
It might just be Yoko, I guess.
Would you buy this empty can of juice I just finished drinking for 10,000 yen?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Huh? I'll even throw in these bones from some fried chicken. You can't beat a deal like this.
I don't really want them.
Don't say that. Come on, they're delicious.
What the... Yoko, what the fuck are you talking about?
You could just come and speak like a normal human being. Actually, I thought I might just have a picnic right here. Won't you join me?
I'm sorry, are you insane?
I don't
know what this
understand. What should we
wink,
do?
nudge, nudge thing's happening. Well, it's not like we need this exact spot, and we can't do anything with other people around. Let's just move somewhere else. Is she back for the Whispering Canal at all? You think?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck her deal is. This is where I would throw salt and run. I'm kind of with you there. I love Yako to death, but she's being real fucking weird. Hey,
Yeah.
10,000 yen is like $100, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's like unreasonably, like she's acting kind of, I think, crazy right now.
It's like if she wasn't looking like this, I'd be like, what fucking homeless lady is this?
Oh
Like,
my
what the
god.
fuck? Sorry, we're in the middle of something, so we'll just be on our way.
Yeah.
There is no way that this is...
This is like the
No!
No!
What?
Oh my god! She was acting crazy for this reason? No.
Is...
Wait a minute. If they die, can we turn back the clock?
We can certainly try, but my question now is, like, what the fuck is Yako then? Is Yako being possessed by Ashino?
I have no idea. Oh my god.
Wouldn't it be fucked if she was trying to revive, what's his face?
Part of the
Wait, no, that
story.
doesn't make any
Oh,
sense,
I would
because
be
what
so
what the
pissed.
hell?
Okay, good. This is an ending. This is an ending because I thank God, because if this was actually canon and the story continued, I
And
would
we
be
had to
incredibly
continue
pissed.
with Mio and Iro dead.
And yeah, no. Okay, so if this is an end, we come back and this is up. So she killed Shogo.
I guess.
Cause what is it? Henchman Man doesn't have Whispering Canal.
Well, he couldn't use it
'Cause
either
we-
way because he wasn't a curse bearer at all. So he can't even
No,
use
I
it.
know,
Period.
because
But
we thought she had given it to. I guess we didn't even like
I
confirm
thought
whether or
that
not who we thought he didn't do.
I thought that he had found it, and I don't know.
So she's a curse bearer too, or is it kind
By
of a thing
default,
where it
yes.
was like,
She must be.
yeah,
You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. This brings the story of the seven
No.
mysteries of Hanjo to a close. And who could have foreseen such a conclusion? Unfortunately, it seems the so-called mastermind was one step ahead of you. She remains hidden, leaving behind no evidence. Perhaps there is truly no way to stop her.
I don't know. I think there's a way.
However, should you find
Yeah.
that this conclusion is not to your liking, by all means,
Yeah.
please pursue a different
Get us
path.
back in there.
You have done it once before, so I am sure you already know how. With that, I shall be taking my leave. I have been
So
your
he's
humble
just-
storyteller. Good night.
So he's just like, we're done. Reach Euro's choice. Reach Tetsuo. Yeah, it's Euro's choice.
Holy shit. There is no indication as to where we should be going.
I think it has go
Do you
back
think
to
we
where
just
we
go?
were.
Do you think we just go right back into that scene?
Yeah, because if we know information, you could say like, "Don't leave," you know. We could probably skip a bunch of.
It doesn't go very. Okay, go quickly. Look so fast.
Okay.
I sure do
Sure
love my
do.
favorite game, Paranormasight. Mikey, why are you being like this? Okay, yeah, it's her.
Or can we not do anything?
Well, we'll have to see.
No.
No, they
Okay.
still leave and then die.
Is there a chance? Yeah, that didn't do nothing. So,
Is there a chance that we do have to go back to Shogo?
is there a chance that we should have her killed? Do you
How
think
is that like? But what is that? Because we already went the route where she dies in the bottom one.
Who?
This is really weird.
No, Saba, what are you talking about? What do you mean where she dies
in the bottom of
one?
Shogo's? In
Bottom
the
in
bottom
Shogo's, okay,
version. Yeah.
Well, how did this one end? This one ended with us having enough soul dregs. We did it, and then we just died,
And then
right?
we just died, yeah. It's a really weird part to this game.
But
Like, we have nothing.
this must be like the ultimate. This must be like the ultimate. Like, have you been paying attention? You know.
Because Yoko, right? Yako's. Or
Yako is the high school girl. Yoko is the apparently
Yoko hasn't
evil person.
shown up until the begin. She only shows up in Shogo's story.
She only shows up in Shogo's story, and very specifically in Shogo's story, he like saves her life and makes her go away. So I don't know. I kind of want to go back.
Did you just save the game?
I could. Do you want me to?
I was just about to say, make sure not to save over 3. Okay, don't do it. Kill you. Because I don't know if I paid enough attention to. Okay.
I almost want to go back here because look how much empty space there is, right? I almost want to go back here and have her still be dead and maybe figure something out along the way. What do you think?
Maybe we can insert ourselves. I would love this to be true because this lets us go back to Shogo. Like, it feels like such a, like, I don't want to say waste, but I feel bad not being able to go back to Shogo and do anything.
Mikey just reminded me that I'm not actually watching my own stream. My bad.
Stop streaming its own. Open 2 other people are the only ones streaming this game. Well, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a hyper popular game. Everybody loves this game.
Everybody, as they should.
Silverune, stop being on Saba's side. She's not gonna turn me into soul dregs, all right? She can't. She can't because deep down she knows that she was wrong.
Oh, that's what it is.
Now, can I also? So we have no idea. We have to pick something, right?
Yeah, may as well. I go back to that because it's like all of the stuff that's broken is like, you've reached the end of whatever this is, right?
Can
you've completed a scene.
Can I ask you a question? So let's do a little bit of. I wish I could see your face so we could discuss this. Can we agree that this must mean that Yoko is a curse bearer, right? I think that's pretty obvious.
Yes.
So she was the one who summoned Whispering Canal, not Shogo, but Shogo is also a... Wait.
Well, this is incredibly weird. Why did she die the first time?
Well, so that was my thing. I think she died because Shogo is the descendant guy who reflected it back on her. I think that's what happened. I think that she tried to kill us and we reflected it back on her, which is what caused her to die instead.
Could she have been like possessed by like Ashino?
That's what I think is happening. I think that the minute that I think that Ashino is the old lady, right? The old chairwoman of the Haruhiku soaps or whatever, right? So I don't really understand why she's evil here at the very end of the game. There's going to be some obscure choice you missed along the way, like, Sarah, if this isn't to your liking, you can go back. No, right, but that's the thing, is that, like, the game has been extremely well built so far to use logic. So in my mind, it's like, okay, our problem right now is that Yoko randomly shows up and kills the characters that we care about. I don't really know how this game works. Are there signs that there were branching paths on the story map? No. That was actually the thing I was going to ask Saba. Saba, what do you think the chances are that there's a third outcome here?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was trying to say before, like, actually the owner of the Hakuhiko soaps, I don't know if she actually is Asahino, because if we remember talking to her, like, is it Takumi or whatever? He actually says, like, oh, the owner actually doesn't have any, like, powers, but she, I guess, wanted her hands on whatever the rite of
Oh,
resurrection.
you're right. He did say that, right?
Yeah. So I don't think Asahino is.
So do you think that? So do you think that she's the? Do you think that the chairwoman's a red herring and that Ashino is actually Yoko?
I think so. And this is to even say whether or not Asahino came back to possess anyone. You know, I'm not sure.
If Seaman came back, I think she also came back. I think
maybe she could have done something. Yeah.
So,
no, technically her soul drag. You know, so it could make sense that her mind also she did something for her mind to come back as well.
Right. Exactly. And so the idea of like, oh, when a soul comes back and possesses somebody, it loses its memory. Wouldn't it be fucked up if the very first two characters we see in the entire game are the resurrected minds of Ashino and Seaman, but they don't know who each other is yet?
That is true, because technically, Zach, because you remember the thing, they open their eyes, they're like, what the heck's happening? What's my name? Both of them on both options.
You're absolutely right. That is what happened. He was like, I don't remember who I am. So, okay, so, but in that case, Shogo's dead. So what are we supposed to, I think we are supposed to go here and just try to get him to not do the right yet, now that we know info. There's only one option on my story map. Is there a way to access it from other stories, or is it a one-time event? So the reason why she only has the one story event is that during this entire period where all of this other stuff was happening, she was unconscious, locked in a warehouse. So as far as I know,
she got
there's
out
nothing.
And met up with us.
Yeah, and then she got up, or she got out, escaped, and met up with everybody else. So she just kind of rejoined everybody else's story. So as far as I know, there's no way to add more to this. But I don't know, because like even if we used our like super knowledge and like sent somebody to the factory, she would still be unconscious. It wouldn't change anything, you know.
Yeah,
wait, no, that's the other. Wait, that's the other thing, though. That doesn't make any sense. How does this work? Because remember, the guiding light only came into existence because of Mayu.
Oh yeah, so it's like she had to stay there in order for her to get the guiding light.
But the guiding light but the cursed echoes only are summoned by descendants of the people who died. So does that mean Mayu is also a descendant of Seaman?
I thought you just had to like fulfill a requirement, like a type of like.
Is that what it was? You might be right.
I don't think it's a descendant. Yeah, I think it's just.
I remember them using the word descendant before, but then I think we discussed whether or not descendant was the right word. I think you're right, because I don't think Tetsuo is like the descendant of the father, because he didn't have any descendants, because his only descendant Toko died.
Can you scroll down the line, by the way?
To the right.
Chart. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I think that just for the sake of exploration, let's go here and see if we can do something.
Yeah.
See if we can continue this with Shogo and Yoko's dead.
Because, I still don't understand why he ends up dying. You know? Because he collected the soul dregs, but he's dead. Why did he die? Start from the beginning? Do you want to actually like...
I was going to just do it from the very end. I got curious and looked it up. I won't say anything since I don't understand stuff, but there is another conclusion somewhere.
There has to be. I figured, because I don't think they would let the like audience, because this is a
Hi, lady.
This is a very unsatisfactory ending, and they even say right, the storyteller's like, calm down,
lady. What
Haruo,
are you
okay?
Fucking
Haruo,
come on. It actually is really interesting that Haruo ended up with the wooden clappers, because the wooden clappers was the death of the attendant, right? The retainer, who was also also not a good person.
Wasn't the chief retainer the one, or was it the chief? I don't know the difference between these two, I guess, right now. The one who like captured the other two, I guess. And
it was the whatever retainer. I don't remember I just remember there was a retainer that was sent. I don't think there was multiple.
Okay. Because the
How
thing
do
is,
I,
in this case, you'd have to go to items and like throw
and
out.
then throw it away immediately, so that way she freaks
Yeah,
out
but this
and runs away.
doesn't. Yeah,
By the way, I could have
know.
swore didn't this end with something along the lines of what's his face? Seinfeld? Isn't that how we finished? Wouldn't it be funny if we just threw away the cursed stone?
She dives into the pool.
Oh. I can't
What?
throw it out?
We should still have this information. Can we talk to her? Do we have a different talking option? Okay, no, this feels the same.
Is she
I
gonna
wonder
start
why
counting
she doesn't
down?
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is weird.
That is very strange. I don't really know. I mean, maybe we have to loop it, but it seems weird. It is kind of funny coming back to these early scenes with all the stuff that we know now.
Oh yeah, so her being like, I don't mind getting my hands dirty, but she's like trying not to. It's just on a whim. Why can't we? Do we have to?
I just wanted to try to loop it.
What if you could go back to the start before? Because weren't we the ones who chose the option that were Shogo Okie?
So you're thinking that if we go back to the very start and we say Saman, we fucking ascend to godhood and we just, I mean obviously I'm citing hyperbole here, but I'm not gonna lie, Saba, that's a good idea.
Well, because I don't know whether or not something will happen, you know?
Okay.
But also, this is weird why this is, why we should have this information, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's just
I wonder
been
if we zoom out, the storyteller will be gone still.
I mean, he said he would take his leave, right? So maybe. Nope, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, we're back in.
Okay, so he just appears.
Hey, lady. Items, yen, throw it away. Thank you. Yep, throw it away.
Yes, really throw it away.
And once again, this is why I think that we are the spirit of Saman, specifically. I forgot about her crazy face!
Oh my god. And we just kill her.
Oh, wait, no, so this can't be right, then. Because Haraway dies, and that fucks up the timeline too much. Okay. I hate to do this, because I know we just skipped through all that stuff.
Oh, we killed a lot of people until then, I believe, anyway. Like,
let's do your idea.
Let's go
do
back to the
idea, which
beginning
is,
of Shogo.
Is it this one?
Yeah. Yeah, let's just start. Yeah, restart.
Restart or resume?
You want to say actually resume? Let's see if we can. It'll start from introduction. Yeah.
Which I think was restart, but that works too. Yes! Hello,
The
Square
titles!
Enix. Oh, fuck. It's what's its face. Yep. Has autosave.
Wow!
This is the menu button.
Menu button!
Can you believe it?
What?
Wait.
No, keep going. What if our name isn't Obo? What if our name is Saman? I don't know. Keep going. These are suggestions that we could do. Because I don't think we can. Because this is just presented by you. I think that's a little. I don't want to say it's too meta because this game's pretty meta, but like I want to try first being like Shogo is Saman before we start saying it's us.
I'm about to say that'd be kind of insane if I had to change my fucking Steam name to Saman.
That's a little. I don't want. This is a weird question.
After this
Does this
game-
question actually have any implications to it? But I agree what you're saying. I would be like, I don't want it. I don't think it's worth it. You know?
After this game, yeah, no.
He said the same thing, by the way.
Okay. How do you
As
remember
before.
that? This is called a color television.
It's crazy stuff.
Man,
I like this idea
could
of
you
like,
imagine
are
us-
you old
Sorry.
enough to remember having like those phones, or are you too young and you think this is a relic of the past?
What the fuck?
Oh, this is the thing where he's
Oh,
dead,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like, man found drowned. Excuse me. Focus. So after Paranormasight, what's
after-
next on the list? Little Goody Two Shoes. We played it on Halloween. We're gonna be doing more of that.
We're gonna switch over to it after we finish this. I mean, I really do like this game, though.
This game is awesome.
Did a really good job. I'd like more games like this.
I agree. It's a shame that this game did not make its money back. Hey. Okay.
Earth to Shogo Kie. So she said our name, but I'm hoping we can.
I don't think so.
Sound good. Okay. Because he had amnesia, like, right?
Yeah.
I remember the
Ah,
amnesia.
Right, she does that thing.
I think I found the other conclusion was the hardest ending to get. Okay. Well, after a while, maybe we can play the hot and cold game. Once again, this feels like, you know, it could be.
She's evil. Paranormal fanatic.
Was this a flashback? No, it's
Yeah, to when we
very
first
happy
met her.
music. This is unfortunate. Because I swear I remember we had to click that we're Shogo Okie, but maybe not.
I could have sworn that you were right.
Well, let us finish this sequence, Mikey. And whether or not this works out, maybe based off of like the theories we've been kind of spouting so far, maybe you can tell us kind of if we're in the right ballpark.
Well, it's
or
also
something.
tough, right? Because I appreciate Mikey's assistance, and I do think we're going to need it here in a minute, because I'm kind of spinning my wheels a little bit. But unfortunately, since Mikey hasn't been super invested in this game, which is fair, you don't have to be, it does mean that I don't know if Mikey's going to know exactly how to drop hints, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Well, that's why
you know,
I
we'll
figure
figure
like
it
we
out.
could do the hot and cold thing, where it's like, oh, if we're talking about like we're talking about it has something to do with Shogo and Shogo's storyline. Mikey could be like, yeah, you're in the right ballpark, right?
Jeez.
I figure something like that could work. I'm hoping it's not actually having something to do with restart. Because it's weird that resume versus restart exists, right, Zach? Because when we press resume, it starts at the beginning.
Yeah.
We've clicked introduction. So why is there a restart?
There's something? Oh, recall maybe?
Is there anything else we can do?
Right, the
This
whole
whole
analogy with the
liquor-
liquor and stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if this is a second-sided thing where she's like, you can see me as being... What is it?
No.
Asahino.
I don't know. I don't feel confident in that. I could have sworn that you were right, where there was a thing where we had to say what our name was, but we just did that and it didn't do nothing, so I don't know.
Yeah, like it already said Shogo.
It started with Shogo immediately.
Which is weird, because I swear I thought I remember it was like question marks, right, at first?
Hey Saba, I'm gonna send you something in on air, but I have the image spoiler just in case. Could you read it over and see if it lines up with what you've done so far? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna clear up some notifications.
So yeah, I'll wait on air if you want to send something. Yeah, we just did that. Yeah. That was something we just did. That was the thing we clicked onto again. Yeah, if you go to the thing real fast just so I could show him, go to the right all the way to the end of Tetsuo's. Yeah, that's conclusion. So we just did that. And this is the place where Mio and Yuro died.
Yes. By getting murdered by Yoko, evil Yoko.
And we're like, excuse me, this cannot happen.
Like, what an unsatisfying ending. Yoko just randomly shows up, starts rambling about chicken bones and empty soda cans, and then, like, two of my favorite characters just fucking die.
Well, you know what's weird, right? Is that every other time where something's happened where we die, right? We're normally able to go back. Also, who are we inhabiting now that Tetsuo's dead? Where are we? Because normally we inhabit someone, right?
That's a really good point. I don't know. That is a very good point, though. We've done it. It's happened before where we are able to like witness a scene from outside of our character's body. It has happened, especially in like Harue's story. That happened quite frequently, mostly because they just wanted to show the pretty woman on screen. But at the same time, that is very interesting. Part of ending 6, but it doesn't show the answers throughout. Again, I'll spoiler the image. Okay. Do you wanna do this, Saba, or do you want me to do it so that way it's a surprise for you?
Do you care whether or not you know?
I am not really one for... Okay, so the way that I see this, I typically have bigger reactions than you do, but I want you to have the best experience possible. And I don't really mind spoilers, because they don't really affect me, but it is the sort of thing where, like, if I am about to read this thing that Mikey's about to send, and it fucking sends me to the moon, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be, like... I guess that's all... I guess that's what I mean to say. Like, I want you to have
Because I too like thinking it out, right? And I like both of us doing it. Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll take up screen time. How about this? Let's do a little bit, because once again, Mikey doesn't really know what clues to give. So how about we do a little bit of like, how about we narrow down the options a little bit with Mikey, and then we can see if we can logically figure it out, and Mikey can just tell us if we're right or wrong. We'll do this for like 10-15 minutes, and if we're wrong, then we'll just look at the thing that Mikey said and spoil the image. It's there for when you give up. Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about that, Mikey? Would you be willing to...
I like that.
Well, so my first question is, what timeline are we supposed to be in right now? Or like, which character are we supposed to be in right now? Because it's like, I genuinely have no idea.
I don't think it's Harué.
I don't think it's Yako either.
Yako. Yeah.
I think Harué is gonna have something at the very end, because her thing with her son still isn't resolved. I'm just following the guy without the context.
We can, well, I think for the most part, Mikey, based off the stuff you were saying, like you have names, right? You
I'm
have the
assuming you
names
have
of people.
names,
Like normally
yeah.
they give you a name based off of like the image above that like tells you like where you need to kind of go.
How incredible would it be if he just brought up like a random name that we have no idea? like it's a new character. I would go bananas.
Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if you can.
Howdy, Andy.
Oh,
Welcome back.
hello. Hello, welcome back to the end of this game.
Hopefully, if we can figure it out.
Not sure. Let's see. Well, let's see, Mikey. We can kind of say like, if they
you know who I
provide
wish
a
was
name.
here? I wish Az was here.
Yeah,
Because Az seemed to know what they were doing. Okay, I'm gonna copy paste the snippet. You don't need to find the spirit of Yako. You do
the spirit in Yako, which is
outside the factory. You don't need to find the spirit? Oh, is this in reference to the thing that we did where outside the factory we found a spirit? Do we have to keep finding that spirit over and over in different people's timelines? That would be crazy if that was the case. You can think about that for a second. I'll just explain really briefly to Andy. This game is a like mystery visual novel sort of thing. You're coming in at the very tail end, so obviously the vast majority of what we're talking about isn't really going to make sense. But it has great art, great storytelling, great character writing. Saba and I fucking love this game. It's really good. We started it for Halloween, and we're trying to finish it now, like, deep into November. But it's very good. It's about, like, ghosts and murders and, like, Japanese occult rituals and stuff. It's very cool. So
what I'm thinking is that... Remember when they said we found the spirit in Harue's timeline?
Do you think that
didn't really change anything, though?
Do you think that the spirit has now moved into somebody else's timeline?
Maybe, because it's like something's changed and nothing in that timeline had changed.
So
right?
So just thinking about it real quick, when we did that, it was because Haruo and JoJo Detective had a period of time where they were able to free roam wherever they wanted. Right? Did Yako... Wait, no, sorry. The thing he said was you don't need to find the spirit in Yako's timeline.
So it has to be someone else.
So else...
It could be Tetsuo.
Okay,
or even Shogo?
But do we remember... Shogo had the opportunity to wander around for a bit. That is something that happened. Do you want to try that? See if the spirit's in his timeline now?
Yeah. Is it the... what point is this in? Start from the coaster and start... I think, actually, you could skip this part. I think this could be the one right after. Yeah. Resume in, like...
Location select. Okay, that's the bridge where the factory is.
Here we go.
Let's see if it's here.
Oh, I forgot he's here.
I forgot Detective JoJo's here.
Yikes. We can still maybe look, right?
There doesn't appear to be anything there. I got another snippet.
Does it have to be that
needed.
specific? There's a specific time of day. I don't know if it's supposed to be something where it's like, oh,
you talking
during
about
that same
about
time.
Shogo?
No, for like the spirit thing, like it has to be similar time frames.
Are you talking about something that was in its myth that we should review, or are you just trying to think?
I'm just trying to think, because it's like Haruo. It says something changed with the bridge, and I'm like, oh, is it this the thing where it's like?
By the way, so we got to find something else.
JoJo man.
So it's not that one.
When did it happen in her timeline?
Haruo's? Oh, super late. It was like pretty. It was like pretty late. I want to say it was actually last resort, if anything. No, last resort is when Triangle Girl showed up.
Tono. Yeah, when she kills
So it must have been
Tono.
too much to handle. God damn it, I don't remember.
If we cut straight down in Tetsuo's, yeah, go down.
Standing by?
If it's just standing by, yeah, you want to try to
we
see
could
if
try
we can,
that.
if we move around.
That sounds as good as anything to me.
What's happening here? I don't remember.
What I can
What I
say
can
is that
say is
somewhere,
it's somewhere in
Shogo's
Shogo's.
timeline. Okay, well that saves us a
Okay.
lot of trial and error. I
That
appreciate
saves us a lot
that.
of there. Okay. No, we do. Yeah. That was nice.
So if it's somewhere in Shogo's timeline, well, there's
Wait
only...
a minute. Can you? Maybe it is there, and we just maybe regardless if we talk to him, maybe we have to trigger his thing, but we stay there and then look after.
Okay, sure. Do I have? I don't have the lighter on me yet. Okay.
Can we just not pick up the lighter and then go talk to her?
There was something. No, because you need the lighter to not die to Araishi.
Yes, I remember that.
Hello, Detective Jojo. Most beautiful man in the whole world.
Looking kind of insane right here, but
Who are you?
oh yeah, but we don't have the lighter. So remember, he asked us whether or not we had a light on us here.
Yeah, that was because he was gathering info for Haraway.
We can give our name. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. I know that
He's
this,
just like, stop.
I know that
Don't
this man
don't
is
give
the
him-
most trustworthy man in the entire game, so...
You call me Victor Kai.
You know something that they never address in stuff like this? So Richter Kai, obviously this game takes place over the course of like 24 hours, so it's not actually that long. How often do you think fucking Detective Jojo works out? Because this man is fit.
He's been running all over town.
Yeah, you don't get fucking
Based off of what
text
I've
from
read.
running, though. It's the thing.
Climbing trees, jumping on
Climbing
people.
trees.
To...
Richter is definitely the kind of guy who would make a habit out of saving cats, though.
I saw a strange man. What was I? Looking for the...
That's literally what we're looking for right now, by the way.
Yeah, funny enough. Someone said they saw the beckoning light here. I think that's just him. Why don't we
Yeah.
wait together? No, don't go! Brick, ask him again to stay with us. Let's look together. Did you just give it to us?
I don't know. My work is top secret. Did he just give it to us? No, he didn't. Well,
No, he's just like, oh, that's okay.
it doesn't appear to be here.
And we can't look around. Bridge? You do. Apparently, Bridge is on... Think? No. I wasn't
Think,
thinking of
yeah.
doing that. He seems like, no! He's the most trustworthy man ever!
He is the most trustworthy man in the whole game. I promise you this. He's one of the only hot people in this game that isn't a villain. Can you believe that? Wait, that's super wrong, because Mayu's also not a villain. Sorry. Is this a
I
thing
don't know,
where,
do
like,
you want to go...
we can move and then come back? Maybe he'll be gone?
And then he'll be gone? We do realize Richter managed to get unbelievably lucky, by the way,
With
to
what?
not turn around. Oh, that's the thing. We should leave.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. Even I don't trust him. Well, you just showed up at the tail ass end of the game. That's why you don't trust this man. This man collects fucking bird stickers. He's so trustworthy. Okay, well, we got that. Back to the bridge. Let's see if anything's changed.
Luigi.
No, he's still there.
We come back, we're like, hey, bro, we got a lighter now.
No, we're done with him. I don't know,
And
man.
I guess the only other thing I can think of is like the ending, but like you said, too many people have died, so it's incredibly weird.
I mean, maybe it's a thing where it's like we have to we have to like continue his storyline to get more info, maybe, right?
Maybe. I guess you could go back. Yeah.
I don't even know
But
about
I
this
don't know
game.
how
Yeah,
it-
that's what I'm saying. You don't even know about this game. That's why you don't trust Richter Kai. I would trust Richter Kai with my car
I don't
keys.
know. Yeah, and you look at the man's hat. Look at his hair.
Look at
that
his
shirt.
look at the mole
okay?
on his cheek that constantly switches sides whenever he flips his artwork.
Oh, and trust me, you haven't even seen his backside yet. Okay, the backside is
pretty
just as nice as the
thick,
front
dude.
side.
All right, Saba, I think I'm gonna bite the bullet just for the sake of time. I think I'm gonna look at the spoiler. Okay, give me a second. Let me put you back in so that way you can see stuff.
Chad, he is a genius. Okay, not even just Chad. He is beautiful. Okay. I mean, look at that belt buckle. Okay. Only certain types of people can wear belt buckles like that and pull it off.
Okay. I have the. I unspoilered it. This.
Do we
Sorry.
do something instead of like pushing?
reading.
I wonder.
Sorry, I'm still reading.
Yeah. Wait a minute. When it says push, could it be kind of like it's beckoning light and we're pushing the curse back onto her because she's holding onto the curse?
Potentially. That's entirely possible.
What if Shogo starts off with what if he actually is holding onto the beckoning light and he just doesn't know it? There it is. What if he's holding onto the beckoning light? Look at it again. What else can we do? So he has the beckoning light?
No, this is just something that is now here. Oh,
It's closer. Oh my god. Is that his like soul and mind supposed to be coming together?
I think it is.
The other guy's just like, what the hell are you doing? Because he can't see any of this. It feels a little arbitrary that this is here, but I guess I get it. Third one!
It was a third. It was just in a different location.
Oh my god!
Okay, so...
This is so exciting.
You can attempt these... Oh, sorry. The storyteller will interrupt and ask you 3 questions. You can attempt these many times over. However, if you are struggling, here are the answers which Mikey did not post. Thank you very much, Mikey.
Okay, this is good. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, first off, never would have fucking guessed to go back to that specific moment. Why on earth was beckoning light there?
Do you think I was right though? Because like the only thing I can think of is that push means that he has beckoning light and he
reflected
didn't even know
yes, I do think that is what happened. I do think that now Yoko is just evil.
And that's why she drowned, because
we reflected Whispering Canal back on her with beckoning light. And it's the only...
Oh.
There you go. Okay. Well...
That's why... Because we were confused, right? We're like, no, he has Whispering Canal, like, right? Because, like, he ended up killing her via... Man, I feel like I don't think it was actually too hard, because the idea is that, like, this was the one really weird thing that happened, and we learned later that beckoning light is a thing that just, pushes their curse back onto themselves. I feel like maybe it would have taken us way longer because there's so much information here, but I like that. I think it's good. Yes.
My. Finally, you have arrived at this juncture. I expected no less from you. You only had to cheat a little bit in order to get here. That would mean that you have managed to bring everything to light.
We knew Shogo
Though there is the possibility that you have wound up here by chance. So before I take you any further, I must ask you a number of questions.
It's okay.
About what exactly the soul, body, and mind of Seaman are. Firstly,
Firstly,
which cursed echo represents the soul
we know
of
what this
Saman,
is. This
its
is the beckoning light. Yeah,
Yes,
that's the
that's exactly
sound
it.
of we are correct.
After his defeat at the hands of Ashino in the Honjo incident, Saman wandered about near Hoyonji. The form of his cursed echo changed over time with the legend he left behind. This is the cursed echo which was acquired by Mayu Chozawa.
But what if someone else acquired it first?
But when called forth by Saman's body and mind, it appeared momentarily before him.
You know what? I wonder if we were to go back into the VODs, I wonder if we did see that at some point, but we just didn't know what it was.
Maybe.
I don't know. That'd be kind of fun to go back that far. Anyway,
Let us continue. Who served as the self of Saman? Who
I
was
think this
his
is
body?
Shogo.
It must be Shogo.
It has to be Shogo.
because we are the mind, right? We did it.
Yes, that's the
Correct again. Although Shogo Okie was born to an ordinary family, the blood of a distant relative ran thick in his veins.
I knew Shogo
In
couldn't
truth,
be that.
the same is true for Yoko Fukunaga.
She's evil. She's Ashino. Yeah!
Yes!
Dude, I can't fucking believe it! The very first two characters in this game were the ultimate good guy and the ultimate bad guy, but they just well, I guess she still had her memories maybe, but still, that's so crazy.
God.
Saman and Ashino fated to meet again all these hundreds of years later. Now
This
for my
man,
final
wrong
question.
person to be into.
Who is the mind of Saman's
This is
Saman?
also Shogo.
No,
And this is exactly why they said it could be the same person. Oh, I guess Obo.
I thought it would be
That's
us.
also good.
Do you think this is correct, or do you think it's Shogo? I think it's
I don't
us.
mind. We can try both. We can try both because this makes sense because we are this weird abnormal entity that's been able to do stuff, you know. And plus, when Shogo died, I don't know. Maybe once again.
Wait,
maybe
you're
he's
right.
more
Wasn't there
powerful
a
than
weird
Junpei.
thing where he's like, "How many people do you think died tonight?" And we listed off the number, but it was the number of people that died minus one. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I think it probably does, but I'm not sure how it plays.
I'm
into
gonna
it.
say Obo, and if it's wrong, we'll just say Shogo.
Okay.
No! I think we were wrong.
Just Shogo, because
Are you saying you believe it to be yourself?
wait a minute. This is weird. Even though we didn't hear the.
Are you certain?
Yes! Oh my god, dude! I'm so hyped. I can't believe we figured that shit out. That's so cool.
Yes, you are correct. Finally, you have remembered.
And who is this?
I
Storyteller.
don't know. I think he's just the storyteller.
Saman's consciousness awoken by the curse and rite of resurrection. However, having lost your memories, you forgot about the duty assigned to you. This is, if I may say so, where I played my part, guiding you through the events of this story. As your consciousness was all that was left of you, you manipulated time and space by way of the story chart,
we were
jumping
able
from
to
vessel
jump
to
vessel
vessel,
to vessel.
and manipulated your host's actions by whispering commands into their ears. In doing so, you were able to get the full picture of what needed to be done. But at one point, while still unconscious, you managed to remember your duty. The so-called mastermind behind these events, the one who awakened the rite and the curses, was Yoko Fukunaga, descendant of Ashino herself.
Dude, I'm fucking so pissed. I can't believe that my fucking Paranormasight crush is evil.
You know what's interesting too, Zach?
This is some
What's
horse
even
shit.
what's even more meta to a certain degree? Us as players wanting people not to die, right? It's it's weird because it's
what Saman wanted.
is what say so it's like we embodied him without even knowing it.
Because he has the exact same drive that a player would have. That's goddamn it. That's
Yeah.
so cool. This game's awesome. This game's fucking incredible. This isn't even, as soon as we're done. So right now, you know how I have my Steam organized. like into like separate groups or whatever. As soon as we're done with this game, this is going right into fucking favorites. Like this game is so good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but imagine your Steam name was like XS Pussy Destroyer XX. That would be really funny. Luckily, it's
really good
Oboe,
name,
so I
yeah.
don't have to deal with that. You unconsciously activated your curse and killed her.
Yeah.
How interesting that she awakened Sayman's consciousness at the same time as the curses. That was you're very close. That was the one and only time she could have been stopped.
And we did in one timeline.
In one timeline, we did, yeah.
Ah, but due to your influence on Shogo Okie's will, Yoko Fukunaga was brought back to life.
Oh,
Using the
maybe
story
he
chart
did
to
the
undo
right.
her death.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was
I
something
led
else.
you to believe that it was the work of the Rite of Resurrection itself. But as it turns out, seeing what would transpire if the mastermind was not killed at the outset is what ultimately revealed the way to put an end to the curses for good.
That is true.
So he's like, because Shogo, even though she died, Shogo ended up killing a bunch of people. He's like, this isn't good enough. That this isn't the ending I wanted still, because there's still death. So we needed to go through everyone.
I do believe
in order
that
to be able to come back here.
I do believe that you're mostly there. I think the only part that you're slightly wrong on is not the fact that Shogo killed people. It's the fact that that was the only chance for Yoko to die and not interfere with the right. That's the only thing that mattered. Like the fact that Shogo killed like Seinfeld and stuff didn't really matter. I don't think.
Not to Seinfeld, but like, all the other people.
Or
sure.
Haraway and stuff, right? Like, like whoever, like all the individuals that Shogo killed. I don't think that actually mattered. I think it was just the fact that Yoko did not die.
But maybe it was the storyteller too that was kind of like, but I made you think it was like X reason, so you would go and look at everything else in order to be able to
you
get.
could understand. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I concur with this.
There were certain things which would have answered all the
Excuse you, I'm
questions.
sorry, did you
notice that?
say that this was your character?
No, I'm just reading. It's an interesting line.
There were certain things which would have answered all your questions, had you noticed them. For example, even while under your control, Shogo Okie willingly used his curse.
Yeah, that's true. He was the only guy who automatically used his curse no matter what. That's interesting.
So is it that because he had so much power that like it wasn't in our control to he just automatically used
used it because he didn't need any sort of external influence, I guess.
When I asked you early on how many Shogo Okie had killed, this is what I meant.
Oh, because it was Yoko.
Yoko killed herself.
Had you not used the cursed stone, Shogo Okie would have done so of his own accord.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Furthermore, Mayu Chozawa was able to recall information which only you knew. Yes, she was able to do this because she was connected to you through her cursed echo, the beckoning light.
That
All right.
I did not even think about.
That seems like some video game nonsense, but I'll accept it. Right? That's fine.
The reason why she was very, I guess, I don't know, maybe depending on
that is
enough
true,
information,
actually. Though
but...
there's only 2 characters in the whole game that we did something like that for. It was Mayu to like incept like the address right into her brain, and then it was Shogo telling him to throw the lighter away. Every other character had something else that wasn't like that. That's interesting.
Person of interest.
No! I can't believe she's so. Oh, Saba, you have to. Oh,
In
Saba.
truth,
Saba, read this.
Yoko is a descendant of Onmyoji who continue to practice in modern times. Her ancestor Ashino attempted to steal the rite of resurrection in Honjo during the Edo period. Born with exceptional spirit sense, Yoko learned about her own ancestry while researching her roots. Oh no, she knew the entire time, Zach. And was disappointed to find her bloodline had fallen into mediocrity. She became consumed with the ambition to restore her family's lost glory through her own powers and devised a scheme to succeed where Ashino failed and perform the rite of resurrection. Yoko continued her training, developing her spiritual and cursed powers until she discovered the Record of Fates, which offered her clues regarding the rite. She plotted to use the curses of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo to gather a large number of soul dregs by calling forth the curse echoes and setting the stage for mutual slaughter. The ultimate plan involved invoking a large-scale feast of shadows, awakening the curses, performing the rite herself, and bringing together enough soul dregs to revive Ashino. She is hella old, okay?
Not as old as the guy that Triangle Girl was trying to bring back.
Yeah, she was
slightly
crazy.
younger in terms of death. Dude, I'm so pissed that Yoko, because like that was the whole thing, right? Was that fucking Triangle Girl when they just, because the idea is that these like catalogs, like these like articles that we read, are the truth. They are the truth even beyond what the characters are aware of. And so like it's really interesting when we read the article on Triangle Girl, and it was like, dude, she's so fucking shallow and she's so selfish and yada yada, you know what I mean? Like just describing her being a bad person. Whereas with Yoko's, it's like we're up here and it's just like, yeah, she's just like really into the occult, man. you know? And it's like, it's not wrong, but it's like a lie of omission, I guess. Anyway, sorry.
Since the effects of the curse increase the more people know and fear them, she first entrusted the Record of Fates to local historian Hideki Araishi, who could be used to easily spread the rumors. She also contacted Fumichika Nijima, a criminal with a deep understanding of mystic arts, to obtain the cursed stones needed to gather soul dregs. Unsurprisingly, Nejima was very interested in the story of Ashino and readily agreed to aid his revival. While carrying out these steps, Yuko learned of... Is it Yako? It's not Yuko. Yoko. I don't know.
I think that's supposed to be Yoko. I think
it's just a misspelling. Yoko learned of the existence of the Yin Scroll, which threatened to thwart her plan. She added a note about the scroll in the Record of Fates before giving it to Araishi, intending to acquire it before it could pose. So she thought he would figure out where it is and get it.
Yeah.
Through her investigations, Yoko discovered that Hajime Yoshimi was a descendant of Seimin and threatened him with a curse in an effort to scare him into revealing the whereabouts of the Yin Scroll. While Hajime bravely resisted Yoko's threat, she killed him with the curse to ensure Seimin's descendant would not stand in her. What curse?
That doesn't...
What
but
curse?
Remember, he died of like a heart attack, so she must have the curse of the Hanjo incident, which must be like giving somebody a heart attack.
Or maybe she had enough power to curse someone. Not like a curse.
Well,
but
we're gonna have to discuss
this
in a second because there's a lot going on here.
As the preparations were coming together, Yoko obtained the seemingly less dangerous curse stone of the Whispering Canal in order to become a curse bearer, a necessity to gather the curse stone for the Feast of Shadows. Shogo Okie, also a descendant of Seimin, was eyed as a potential risk factor, so she already knew who he was, and contacted to ensure he would be located nearby and subject to monitoring. However, unaware that the spirit of Seimin would be awakened within Shogo as soon as she invoked the curse, Yoko's plan was thwarted when she was immediately cursed to death by Seimin. Good job, dude! Good job, us!
Okay, so first off, I think that this is an awesome twist. I'm obviously devastated that my waifu is evil, unlike me. Where, but the only detail I wish that they would include here is how long was she preparing for this night?
I think a long time.
It must have been a long time, right? Because like they talked about how difficult it would be because Seimin wasn't anybody famous. Like beyond this particular incident, he wasn't very well documented. So the fact that she was able to trace his bloodline to fucking like 4 different people, it's like crazy, right? And also like,
yeah,
it's so weird that she was so... It's so weird that she like okay, like let me bring up a scenario for you, Saba, right? Obviously your heritage wouldn't really fit with this, like your ancestry wouldn't really fit with this, but just bear with me, right?
True.
Imagine imagine you, apropos of nothing, are doing family tree research and you discover that you are a descendant of Merlin, right? And then you go God damn it, I could be an incredible wizard. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna study some nonsense and become a great wizard. And then you dedicate the next like fucking 6 years of your life to that. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what sparked this whole thing at the very top, right? Was that she discovered that she was a descendant of Ashino. And I'm like, first off, how? How exactly did you figure that out? Number two, how did you not immediately assume that this was nonsense, right? Because remember when the game started off, there was like
It's because she has spirit sense, right? Like she already was like, I am more than just
you know
normal.
what, Saba? You're super right. She did already have spirit sense, so that's why she was already incepted to believe this sort of thing. Okay, so that's good. So that makes sense. But then, like, she found out all of this stuff, and like, why? Like, for one, why contact Nejima specifically? Like, why did that matter?
Cause what is it? She wanted to. Can you scroll down to where she, the section?
Wasn't it? Yeah, here.
Criminal to obtain the cursed stones.
To obtain cursed
She
stones near
wanted
Gath's
to
soul dregs.
use him to drag people out because he would totally be fine just killing them.
Cool.
To then gather
but
the
now
stone.
here comes my question. How did she know that he had knowledge of cursed stones? That wasn't in any
That's an
police
interesting
report.
question. Yeah, that is true.
Right?
That is true.
And like our original theory of the ultimate evil being the chairwoman kind of makes sense because it feels like the chairwoman would have the resources to get this shit done. Whereas
yeah.
in all honesty, Yoko is just a maid. Right? Yeah. You know? Like, if she was the maid of the chairwoman, I guess you could say that made sense. Where like
Maybe.
she was.
Did it say where she was a maid?
I don't
or
think
who
so.
she was a maid to?
Let's see. While working as a housekeeper, doesn't say to who. Following her graduation, Yoko worked at a desk job at a trading company, but butted heads with her supervisor. So, who was skeptical of the supernatural and quit within a year. Now, while working as a housekeeper, she spends her days devouring mystery magazines and visiting haunted spots. It's entirely possible that she was able to access these sort of resources to do this investigation by, you know, kind of manipulating the chairwoman. But at the same time, it's kind of nuts, right?
I agree.
It's like, once again, we're going to continue here in a second. I do not have any fundamental issues with Yogo being the secret evil mastermind behind the whole game. But at the same time, it is really weird how much of her plan doesn't need her there, right?
Yeah.
Because she fucking dies, and the whole thing is totally fine.
I will say, what I love too, because it's like you saw that I was like a little bit frustrated that I'm like, so we're not coming back to Shogo. Like Shogo's just done.
You did say
like, we
that.
can't do anything for Shogo.
Wrong.
And I really do like this. If this can result in Shogo staying alive along with everyone else, I'm happy.
I'll re-emphasize this word, by the way.
No, he is a very remarkable young man.
Not only is he a fucking descendant of like Merlin, but he also has like innate spirit powers that he just never. So that's the other thing, Saba. Like, how does Yoko have spirit sense and ergo like have a natural inclination towards the paranormal, whereas apparently Shogo's spirit sense is astronomically higher? But yet he doesn't know any of this stuff.
That's the weird thing, because I know she trained, but out of this whole time, he should have noticed something,
right?
You know,
exactly. So what? Once again, we're gonna move on here in a second. This has been me critiquing a lot of like the little plot holes that have like shown up over time, especially with this revelation. But I do want to point out that this is a really good sign that this story is like pretty well written, because we are so familiar and so enthralled by the story that we are paying attention to these little details and are able to point them out. You know what I mean? Like
I'm happy to say that my husbando in the game, if I could claim him, was the good guy.
Wrong. Incorrect.
Is a good guy.
Our husband, though.
Oh. Oh, her husband. Well, luckily to say that she wasn't my wife,
dude. I can't believe
he's
the
my
one that
husband.
I can't believe that the one, because remember I played like a little bit of this before I showed you and before we started the series, and I was like, dude, Yoko is my girl. I love her so much. I can't, dude. I would get murdered if this was me. I would have died.
Yes, Mikey. Paranormasight is your favorite game.
It better be. This game deserves it. Now,
Okay, what are we gonna do now?
Allow me to ask you one last question. If you, knowing all that you know now, had the ability to resurrect one life, what would you do?
I mean, it's the new option,
added
probably,
this.
right?
Probably, right? In terms of this, don't mess around with these things, basically.
Can we talk about this slightly? I do believe
Yeah.
that this is obviously the answer because it's the new one, right? But
Yeah.
the fact that the rite of resurrection requires soul dregs,
Mhm.
I'm going Death Note here, right? I'm going Death Note.
Oh, you could say that is true.
Is there no option to save? That is true. I could save real quick.
Oh, Az!
Oh, did Ash show up?
Sorry. We did had to have some help, but the logic of it really made sense. Our eyes opened wide.
We just didn't
like,
know where the light would show up. That was the problem. We just didn't know where it was. But
because Zach was hovering on like, oh, this is like where we need to go within Shogo's storyline, and I was like, oh my god, Zach, what if, because Shogo has stuff is like related to Seimin, what if that push that we saw wasn't him using Whispering Canal? It was him doing beckoning light. And so
I do want to point out, she
right.
did say this, but she said it about 5 minutes after I said it because she was too hype about what was happening and she didn't hear me. It's totally fair. She came to the conclusion all on her own, but it is recorded.
So when
Bridge Duwalk came down from the sky and showed us two wingnuts the light. Listen, but I do want to point out the idea of like, even after this entire game, I do think I would try to resurrect somebody, but obviously the game is trying to tell us to destroy it.
Always was wondering about that because it happens when you turn around. So when us as Shogo turns around, that's when the push appears.
Yeah, because she's trying to use it against us.
Yeah, it was crazy as so I don't think we made that connection until like later here, but it was Seimin's original.
That was Seimin's original intention.
Yes, Mikey. I would say I think we could have eventually figured it out. As I was saying before,
it would have been a lot of trial and error of just going through every chapter looking. So I think what we would have done was that it would have taken us a while to realize that it had something to do with guiding light. Because there was that one time where we saw it, and then it was like, oh, something changed, but we don't know where. It would have taken us a long time to figure out that that was what we were supposed to be looking for. And then through process of elimination, we would have went to Shogo's timeline, since he was the only one who had the opportunity to interact with Yoko. And then we would have just chapter by chapter tried to figure it out.
I think when we would have gotten to like the push eventually, I think we would have, because what we did before too is we stopped there. We were both confused on why that was happening. I think we would have made the connection then. I don't think it's like to the nth degree, it being going through 20 spider webs before we reached, the fact that it's beckoning light. I think we would have figured it out much sooner than that. Oh, we shall leave behind.
He's taking... If we succeed in our objective of destroying the rite of resurrection, we're gonna finally move on to the afterlife.
Shogo! We're coming back!
Shogo! Kill her! I know she's so cute, my guy, but you gotta kill her. Yeah, there you go.
She's already dead. Yeah. He was the one who did that to Yoko.
God damn it. I'm so pissed. dude. I can't fucking believe it.
And we were very
Why couldn't it have been the
vehemently
chairwoman, my guy?
trying to save her. So, well, red herring.
Yeah, and it was a good red
use
herring.
of red herring.
It was a good red herring too, because it's like the game never said like I do think that it might have went a little too far when it was remember Michio's evil dad who like performed the ritual and stuff. Like remember that was funded by the chairwoman. The chairwoman was telling him to do these rituals and stuff. And so it's like, okay, that makes sense. That kind of connects to the idea of her being the ultimate evil. But now that we know that the ultimate evil was actually Yoko, that recontextualizes
I think they just
that
so
where it's just
happened,
independent.
yeah.
You know,
it happened coincidentally. Like the chairwoman wanted the right of resurrection, so she also saw what was happening and tried to, you know, be like, this will be helpful.
Hey, doesn't this mean that the henchman guy is about to show up?
Yes.
God,
Dang, Shogo, you're brutal. Dang, Shogo, you are brutal, by the way. He just used the curse on... It wasn't that the curse was strong enough to like trigger itself. We're shifting? What's happening?
Hey now, welcome back. Ma'am, what is it? Ma'am, what is it?
Just a dream. It seems that it was all just a dream. I dreamt that there was such a thing as the right of resurrection. Just a dream.
I'm sorry to say it, but there isn't.
Right, of course not. Yoko had to come up sometime in the story. Blah, blah.
What is Az saying something?
Yeah, I said Yoko had to come up sometime in the story, so I always had suspicion. They did push a lot of stuff on Ayame 2, Chairwoman 2, of course. Yeah, it was just one of those things as well, where it's like, well, we also never see the Chairwoman, right? Like, we did get, you know, her information.
But I thought that was video game shit, right? Where like she was going to be revealed. Because remember, that was our whole thing. Was like, oh, imagine she's in a wheelchair, which is why she needs an attendant all the time, and it's because her legs rotten off. You know?
Yes, but that's also why, like, I was a bit bummed, being like, so this is all we got of Shogo and Yoko, you know? So they never showed up again.
Okay, so now we're just going through.
We definitely would not have been able to finish this last time.
No, absolutely not. Hey, doesn't this mean that I no longer need to die? Whoa, whoa! What the hell is this? The medical unit told me to get down here. What happened? This is fucked up, dude.
As I was looking into Yoshimi's death at the former Yasuda Gardens. Yeah, so she still died. Another body was discovered at a different park in the area. Could they be related?
Once again, there's still this like resounding question left behind of like, how did she fucking kill Yoshimi?
I think she just had enough power, like spiritual power, to like.
She just had the ability to go like, "Fuck you," and his heart just stopped.
I think something along those lines, yeah.
But that's okay. First off, that doesn't make any fucking sense, because if that's the case, first off, she would have had to do that before the Feast of Shadows, because that's how the timeline works. And if if people can have the power to just go "fuck you" and your brain turns to pudding.
Well, no, she trained, right?
There would be no such thing as like paranormal activity. It would just be like, dude, I can do fucking magic, right?
He's well, I don't know. Like I said, she trained, and I don't know. Maybe that's supposed to account for like her strong enough magical ability to do that. But Mike, he's just pouting. Okay, he's a little bugger. Okay, his personality is just like that.
He's like, oh,
and by the way,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, Yako does it too, because they're both kind of little, like I said, little annoying. Yeah, yes, that's a good term.
Sure looks like it, but
I knew it. I was about to say you should make him Kermit.
Frog here. Excuse me, we found this among the victim's belongings. Thought you would want to know.
What's this?
What the fuck is up with, what the hell? Did you see the silhouette of that guy in the background? Holy fuck.
Yeah! What the hell? Is this the Whispering Canal? Boss, look what was in the female victim's address book. Yoshimi's phone number and photo.
Okay.
Oh.
What?
This is something else. Okay. And the picture. There's an X drawn on it and a bunch of weird symbols and a hole where his heart would be.
He did voodoo?
She definitely.
She fucking did voodoo? But doesn't make it. How, in this world, in the world of Paranormasight, how does everybody not know that fucking magic is real?
I can't believe she death noted
She's
this
not
man.
even the strongest spirit sense user that we've met in this game. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Apparently voodoo is a thing now. So what you're telling me is that we have Western black magic, which is like occult ritual shit. We have Eastern black magic, which is like, you know, like Asian ritual shit. And now we have fucking like African/Cajun black magic.
By the way, you don't whether or not this is voodoo. We're like quickly transpiring because that's what we like, you know, associate it
It's
with.
fucking voodoo.
But it doesn't.
What the
What
fuck,
is this
Obo?
thing?
This
No.
is not my favorite game.
Do you think? I mean, could this be some kind of curse or something?
Oh, right, because this would be before Tetsuo tells him that the Paranormal Bureau exists.
How many
Yeah, I
times
still
do I
think
have
this
to
is a
tell
Death
you
Note
not to try
scenario.
and connect everything to the occult? Damn it. Is this a Nagagoshi case after all?
Yes, sir. What was that, boss?
Don't worry about it. Make sure you put that photo into evidence. There's no doubt that this is related to Yoshimi. Make sure you do a thorough sweep of the area. I'm gonna make a phone.
Aw, so he's not part of our team.
Yeah, but you know what
Oh.
else that this means? This also means that he's not going to be able to commiserate with his daughter.
Yeah.
It also means that
it'll happen down
Haraway is
the
not going to get her
line.
son back.
Yeah, but you know, I think the better option of that was that she just went to grieve, I guess.
Doesn't this mean that Mayu
Where
is still
Yago?
Well, doesn't this mean that Mayu is still going to get fucking stuck in a factory?
Oh my god, yeah, what's gonna happen to Michi?
What is gonna happen to Michio? Well, she still gets hit by a car by default, right? So isn't she fucked no matter what?
And are we gonna be able to, you know, send her off to the afterlife peacefully?
Like immediately?
Meow.
Like right now?
Yeah. It turns
Well,
out
she
Michi
should
really
be-
did die in an accident.
She should be possessing us right now, by the way.
Yes, yeah, but once again, I think Mio actually knew, right? Early, she just didn't want to say anything
Right, I
because
think
it
you're
would
right.
upset us.
Yeah. If we ask around, we might be able to get a little more information.
I guess there never really was such a thing as the rite of resurrection. So what's
Actually-
happened? So like Shogo went and he got rid of it, and like now it's just fading from people's memories.
I guess so. I guess now that he had the knowledge, he just immediately went and accomplished the Yin Scroll and just made
Yeah.
all the curses go away.
Yeah, and plus I think maybe Michio would pass on a lot sooner because she doesn't have like a
Vendetta.
murder stone.
She doesn't have a murder stone. Good point. Oh shit! Alright, she. Well, first off, you're a piece of shit and you murdered a bunch of people just for fun. But at the same time, I do feel kind of bad because this means that his career is like gonna go down the toilet, right?
Well, no, the idea of the rite still exists, right? But like the way of doing it doesn't work. But he couldn't have killed anyone here, I guess, right? No one actually killed anyone. The only person that died, I think, was
To all of
Yoshimi
you
and
watching from
Yoko.
far, far away, the rite of resurrection has never existed. None any
never mind, I
world,
guess it's just
none
gone.
any time. So I ask you to take the life you hold and move boldly forward, one step at a time.
reminder, right? She is screwed. Well, fair. Richter, wise out.
Oh,
Do you wanna
because he never
question
would have
him?
died by Michio.
Yeah.
We don't have to read this because it's gonna be going
Why are
on
we
its own.
working together? This is where I guess.
Oh, that's the kidnapper of her kid. So she does get retribution.
Oh, Seinfeld.
Oh, and Seinfeld's the guy who killed Michio.
So kind of. So he didn't turn into be a brat because he was manipulated for the most part, and this is Tono. So maybe we will have reconciliation.
Maybe we will commiserate with the daughter then.
Why is she crying? Oh, never mind. The whole thing with Michio still happened. Oh.
Yeah, of course it did. Michio still gets hit by the car.
I guess the timeline's a bit different. Maybe these things are happening a lot faster than we think.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly Day, but yeah. And Boss is hiding something. Because he never would have told him about the Paranormal Bureau. There seems to be some kind of secret hidden in his family tree. Let me see if I can find out what it is. Oh, come on, please. A sequel with these three. Mayu, Richter, and Iro. God, that would be so good.
There was multiple timeline things happening, but basically, Mikey, yeah, we've done something where it affected, everything. I seem to have this spirit sense thing. All of us, why are we talking to him? I know it's the sort of thing our chairwoman doesn't approve of. Interesting.
Okay. Are you not? Wait.
You could have called. Didn't you think you were standout? I had to find out from you why.
Yeah, about to say this is.
He didn't
Nejima.
kill anyone, I guess. So he's just out. Wait, does he still want to resurrect? Because he went into black magic. This is a weird thing.
That's very weird.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how much that would work.
There's your evil daughter.
I mean, I think it'll work out, I guess, because it seems like they at least talked to each other.
Well, yeah. I would define it as worked out in the sense that, like, the entire city wasn't slaughtered, so that way she could fuse her mind with that of a great artist.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, by the way, that was always her intention, not to revive him, but to, like, combine herself with him, so that way she could be famous and rich and stuff. Because that sounds exactly like what she would do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do find the ending to be a little mundane. For like the revelation of who Shogo is and who Yoko is and stuff like that, like that's really intense and really cool. But at the same time, I don't find it enormously satisfying because everything, like, almost everything we did in the game ended up not mattering. Needs more time, Cave. Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like I was pretty happy with, like, man, we followed along all, like, these people and everything that happened just to, like, learn, because we were Salmon, just to learn how we could fix everything so none of that had to actually happen.
Well, right, but the idea that the entire game, like the last fucking 18 hours that you and I have played, really just boils down to, oh yeah, by the way, that first death was supposed to happen. Like that's a cool twist, but I don't know.
Thing, right? It's almost like a discovery thing, Zach. Same thing with, like, Outer Worlds. You could have just gone straight to finishing the thing. If you just knew the information, you don't need to go visit any planets. You could just finish the game there.
I don't know
that's not what makes it fun.
If we could have. I wonder if that's the case. I wonder if I were to delete my save, start the game, get to that conversation with henchman guy.
That would be interesting.
And then I wonder if it would work immediately. I highly doubt it, but I wonder if it would.
I don't know, because maybe you needed to trigger the thing at the bridge.
To be sent there from the future. So it wouldn't
so
work
look, maybe,
right there.
Look, there is a point. So this needed to happen. You actually needed all of this stuff to happen.
But like, I don't know. And obviously this is like fan treatment type stuff, but like in my, like what I
Hold
thought,
on, pause.
Sorry.
Pause. So apparently there's an achievement to start a new game and do it in one loop without dying a single time.
I mean, we could do that now that
And
we
I don't know
know.
if that's the same thing. I don't think that's the same thing as
That's
what
not
I
the
think
same.
Zach
That's
was
not the
saying.
same thing. Because if it's without people
Oh,
dying.
in Outer Wilds. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay. I was like, what?
Tommy,
I don't think I was like, this is
distracting us now. So what I was gonna say was that what I thought the ending was gonna be, I thought that the chairwoman was gonna end up being possessed by Ashino, and then that was gonna be the ultimate confrontation. I thought that there was gonna be a big confrontation between all of the good guys and whatever curse stones they had versus like fucking Whispering Canal and like maybe one more, like maybe the taiko drum. You know what I mean?
I feel like you would have been more satisfied if we had gone to the thing where we didn't actually kill Yoko. Like we confronted her, and when she tried to do something,
completely
that's
reach
when, like-
Shoko Okihei's ending. Look at that fucking long ass line.
Hell yeah!
That's really funny. No, but I think you're pretty much hitting the nail on the head, because it's like, I genuinely wanted the thing where it's like so many. Okay, because of the ending that we ended up getting, the only person who ended up dying was Yoko. Right?
Yoko, yeah.
She was the only one who ended up dying, which was okay because she was the evil mastermind who wanted to conduct this whole thing to begin with. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Whereas like in the ending that I thought we were going to get, I thought there was going to be this big final confrontation where it's like, hey, it's revealed that I never actually died from, you know, the curse that you put on me, or I did my own right and I was able to come back, yada yada, whatever. And then there was going to be a thing, and the very last thing I wanted was Haruo to get her son back, because I wanted there to be a thing where it's like, hey, if we take all of the curse stones, there's more than enough to like revive your son. And then that would be like the post-credit scene of like her son is back, and you know that, and none of this needed to, you know, happen or whatever. But you know, like that being said, I'm not disappointed with the ending. It's just not what I was expecting, so I'm a little deflated by that, I guess. But fuck, yeah, that's Paranormasight, my guy. That's a good game.
Give it a solid, I think, even like 9 out of 10.
I would definitely say 9 out of 10. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Play the game in the middle of the
10.
night is an achievement I never got, and Paranormasight is acquire all other achievements. There are 6 hidden achievements we did not get.
Well, we missed some of the Mockingbirds, obviously, so I think that's one of them.
I think that's one of them. I'll look into those later. Maybe there's...
We have a total of... We got all 5 other endings, I think.
Is that true?
Because we got 1, 2, and then the third one happened later on, which I was like, that's weird. And then we got 4, which was before we got 3, and then we got 5 in conclusion. Yeah, okay. Az also agrees we got all the endings.
All right, well, that's really good that we were able to do that. I guess we're gonna... Well, we're not wrapping up stream. We still have 2 fucking hours left of stream. So I guess what we should do now... normally we do this during the credits, but obviously this game had so much stuff going that I was just kind of rambling. I don't know, Salva, how do you feel about Paranormasight? And I don't just mean like, oh, did you like it? I mean like, what was your... You know what we could do? We did a lot of this during my business trip last week. Give me a rose, thorn, and bud. Do you know what that means?
Basically, you're like asking me to talk something
you liked,
good about the game,
something you
bad.
didn't like, and then something that you look forward to in the future.
Yeah, so all of this game in terms of like the thinking process, I think was really fun and neat, and going to other people to then come back to the start, I thought was pretty cool. I think you even mentioned this before. Like, there's a couple of stuff that I'm like, I don't want to say could have been better, but they just went in a separate direction, as I think you kind of mentioned too, is that it didn't really become a game about you're dealing with curses as much. We went
absolutely.
from like, deal with curses.
Look how much of the game was after sunrise. Like, you're so right.
Yeah. So it went from curse to then buddy cop duo thing, which I really liked as well.
Which is fun, but that's not what the game was. Right?
Started out, yeah, and then we came kind of back at the end.
Like what I thought the game was going to be, and what I told you I thought it was I thought we were going to have like this, because I knew that there was timelines, right? I thought we were gonna have this like complex interconnected weave of like, hey, what happens if this character and this character encounter each other, and now you have to reconcile one of them dying because they tripped the other one's curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're so right. Like that would be one of my thorns with this game, is the fact that like the curses just stop fucking mattering. The curses are essentially just a like a gun or a nuke, right? Either the curse is crazy
in
powerful.
relation to like the story. I think that's the thing. Maybe to you, like it starts out being like, oh, the curses and avoiding the curses is what's most important. It's like, that's not what it is. Where the curses come from and why this is happening, that's
what's ultimately important. But I mean, you can do that while also having this like cool, because once again, the game genuinely, from a mechanical standpoint, never does anything as interesting as turning off the voice slider.
Yeah, that was the most meta thing. We have
and
not
that was
played
really
Raging
cool.
Loop
And so I thought that the game was going to keep doing stuff like that, where it's like, hey, you know, do more mechanically interesting things the deeper and deeper you go into the game. But once again, it just doesn't do that. It just becomes about like, hey, are you paying attention to the story that we're telling? Which luckily you and I were, so we were able to like, you know, figure shit out pretty efficiently.
The narrative was doing a good enough job to like be like, even though we went in this direction, I still think it was really good.
It did that one thing where you had to save. Very good point, Mikey. But that being said, I will say, it is kind of sad that that never came back. The fact that we held on to that save and never overwrote it, it's a little sad that it never came back. But you're very right that was important.
It's the same thing. Hold on. So first of all, we've never played Raging Loop. I think I mentioned that.
What's Raging Loop?
I mean, I don't know. It's an as apparently, a game that as brought up. I still find merit. It's the same thing, and maybe you didn't like think of this, Zach, but I still find merit. It's like the same thing within Eastward. I thought there was merit in holding on to her sandwich like the whole time and not eating it because it felt like it meant something.
Intrinsically, sure, yes.
But like they didn't do anything for that either, even though that was an option that you could do.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that like the sandwich didn't actually have any in-game significance. The sandwich was just something that they gave you early on and you wanted to hold on for the entire game. That was like you putting value on the sandwich when the game was like, it's just a sandwich. Whereas in this case, it's like, hey, this save represents you not forgetting your best friend. You know what I mean? Like, that's significant.
Yeah. And I wish, and I guess on both options, they maybe could have acknowledged that if you managed to do it.
It would have been really interesting where like at the very end, once again, Michio would have died regardless because she got hit by the car because of Triangle Girl. Where, by the way, I don't think she ever gets punished for that. Because what's his face was actually behind the wheel of the car, so he gets punished. But you know, whatever. Apparently, Triangle Girl gets to just be evil for the rest of her life. But the and Yoko's dead. But anyway, that's beyond the point. But like, it would have been kind of interesting if there was like a thing where like the ghost of Michio like shows up at the end. Like, imagine if it was just like super faint, like 5% opacity in the background, where it's like the ghost of Michio is there and she's like all smiling because we held on to that save. Like, even something that tiny would have been like really rewarding, just as a thing where it's like, hey, don't forget, don't fucking overwrite this save. Not that it needed it. Once again, I want to point out, I want to reiterate, this game, fucking 9 out of 10. This is incredible. This is immediately going into my favorites folder as soon as we're done here before we transition to Little Goody Two Shoes. But yeah.
So let me finish your question you asked me. Also, by the way, apparently Raging Loop is also like a psychological horror taking place in like Japan, and it's basically akin to like The Mist.
Okay, I can look into that. The Mist.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's actually pretty cool. So that would be one of my, I've got minimal thorns for this, but yeah, that was one of the kind of weird things that happened. Not even necessarily a thorn, but just a really interesting direction.
I would describe it as like bristles. I don't know if you would agree with that. I don't have any thorns. There's nothing like particularly egregious where I'm like, man, this kind of ruined the game. It's just a lot of little prickly things where I'm like, eh.
So in terms of Bud, I'm hoping that, I don't know, they make a series of something out of this, right? Because as you mentioned,
The
like
next
it's
Paranormasight and
yeah.
then the Seven
And
Mysteries
they-
of Hanzhou. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've set up that Western magic exists. We know Eastern magic exists. I would love to have another one of something like this. And if they're able to do it and they're able to make something else that's also like as cool as this, that'd be cool. Ask us to check our files.
Check our files? What? Thank you for playing the game all the way to the very end. We look forward to the day we can present you with another.
Yay!
Sincerely yours, Nakagoshi! Dude, that's the director of the Paranormal Bureau. Yes!
That makes me so happy.
Oh my god, file 23 because this came out in 2023.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
That's awesome, dude. That's fucking hype.
It is a bud waiting to bloom. I am waiting for the next one.
I'm going to ride the coattails of Saba's bud. The next time a Paranormasight game comes out, I will be there day one. I won't let this one slip past me like it did originally. But I do want to say, and then we'll wrap it up with Paranormasight, but and then move on to Little Goody Two Shoes. But I do actually have a rose and a thorn at the same time, believe it or not. So
yeah.
I want to reiterate, I understand that it's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey that matters quite often, right? But yeah. I would say that the rose, like one of the roses I haven't mentioned yet, or I kind of mentioned, was the character writing in this game is phenomenal. Almost every character was at a minimum like unique and at maximum adorable. Like I loved them so much.
And
like,
by the way, smarter than we gave them credit for.
Exactly. That was the other thing. That was great character writing, where it's like Mio and Tetsuo, like the people who were supposed to be smart and good at their job, Mio, Tetsuo, Richter, these were individuals who we were like yelling at the screen like, we know what the solution is. And then it's like, oh yeah, guess what? We knew when you knew. It's just we didn't want to mention it because we wanted to make sure we had all of our ducks in a row first. And it's like, that's great. That's so genius. But anyway, so many of the characters were incredible. Despite the fact that she didn't show up until like the 11th hour. Fucking Mayu, awesome. Both of the high school girls, but especially Mio, awesome. Richter, incredible. Haruwe is okay. She's obviously like damaged as a person, and I can't really hold that against her, but she's right there. She's teetering on the fence of being evil, but she never falls, so she's okay. Fucking the dynamic between Tetsuo and Iro is so good. I desperately want them to come back for a sequel. You know what I mean?
Love Richter, Mio, like all of these guys are really cool.
Richter, Mio, Tetsuo, Iro. Well, Iro is kind of once Tetsuo was dead, Iro kind of was whatever. But like the dynamic between the two of them specifically was so so beautiful. And then so it's like, I don't know, for a sequel, once again, I will just repeat, I really want Tetsuo, Richter, Iro, Mayu, and Mio to show up in, like, I want them to be the main 5 characters in the next one. But then this leads...
You could potentially throw Shogo in there somehow as well, because I feel like that'd be interesting.
Well, that was the thing that you're actually kind of, thank you for the segue, you're actually kind of touching upon the thing that I was about to describe as like a thorn. I think, as of right now, I think this is the only thing I can really identify as a thorn, where it's like, Shogo doesn't really have a personality beyond just kind of being blank character. And the fact that like the game starts and ends, like it's bookended with him, is a little sad, because it's like we didn't actually spend that much time ultimately with Shogo. And even the time that we did have with Shogo, he was just kind of like an anime protag, you know, in terms of being kind of faceless.
Let me
this game didn't do well though, right? As far as I know, Paranormasight has not actually made its money back yet, which is sad. I'm hoping, I just wanted to say, I'm hoping that through word of mouth by stuff like this, that it will eventually do well. I think that Paranormasight is going to be like a cult classic as time goes on. Because this game is way better than fucking like Five Nights at Freddy's 5, you know? But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, you were saying?
So as was saying, and I agree with this, there is a really cool amount of foreshadowing, and this is something even I forgot, because at the beginning, at the beginning of the game, the storyteller says technology that doesn't exist in your time, like color television and street telephones, because Seaman is from Edo period.
Who's hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That's so cool.
It's crazy.
Because the implication is that it doesn't exist in our time because we're beyond it. Wrong. He's talking to Seaman, who's hundreds of years old. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, as soon as not that I have much of a following in YouTube, but as soon as I like upload this video for this Paranorma site, I'm gonna hit this to go live, because this definitely does deserve to be brought up more. It's really good.
Where did Five Nights at Freddy's come into this? I was just bringing up Five Nights at Freddy's because, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, like, 1, 2, and arguably 3 were, like, good games in and of themselves. But then, like, as the series continues forward, they just get, like, worse and worse over time. And it's just, like...
I guess that could be, like, it's a lasting obsession when maybe you guys could, like, you know, switch to something else now that the game's kind of gone down.
There's a thing that exists in the world called mind share. This is, like, a phenomenon that exists where it's, like... There's only so much of the zeitgeist that people can pay attention to, like regular people can pay attention to. And it's not specifically Five Nights at Freddy's. I just brought it up as like an example because the movie just came out or whatever. But like there are so many like mid-tier like suspense, horror, whatever titles that exist where it's just like people don't pay attention to shit like Paranormasight, whereas like this game deserves so much more. And it's just sad, you know? I guess that's what I mean. With the way that the game is structured, do you think Paranormasight would translate well into an anime? I actually think that it might translate better than the video game, or at least the second half would translate better into an anime, because it would be a lot quicker than the video game was.
I think
the first half...
I think the Shogo Okie can only work in the video game setting, because it's something where it's like, dang, we only played as him at the beginning, but then you come back tying in this kind of looping narrative. And I agree, like the whole buddy cop thing.
The whole buddy cop thing, I think, would work really well in anime form, because the two main things that you can't really translate, obviously, to the anime format is A, all of the like meta elements that happen, right? Like the fact that we as a player do not need to necessarily speak to the game in order to have something conveyed. We just click on a button is really powerful. Whereas in the anime, like imagine that scene with Shogo where he just randomly throws away his lighter for some reason. Like, how would you convey the significance of that moment in anime without it just being kind of weird with no explanation, right? At least until the very end of the series where it would then be explained. But then the other one, which Saba and I would obviously both agree on this, that you wouldn't be able to convey in anime is the fucking files. There is no way on God's green earth that you would be able to convince like anime fans to read that much text whenever something interesting happened on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whereas, like,
the whole Seaman element is something that's kind of tied into gameplay, because once again, it's like as game players, like the whole meta of like, oh, what we want is what Seaman wants. That's like because it's us controlling it, right? That level of being involved within
that like
this,
meta
like,
element
media,
is so awesome.
Yeah, it's like it furthers things. It definitely makes it better. Like that's something I don't think you can get in anime.
Okay. We are going to I think we're going to stop it here. I think that this was an excellent episode of Paranormasight. Man, this game is fucking awesome. Not flawless, but very, very close to being so. So I think what we're going to do, I don't know if anybody's going to stick around for this. Even if you don't, that's fine. I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a very brief break so I can go get some water. And then when we come back in like when we come back in like 5 minutes, we will continue our playthrough of Goody Two Shoes, which is going to be our Sunday playthrough moving forward until we finish that. All right? Mm-hmm. Cool. So I think we're gonna cut it here. Goodbye, everybody. Mm-hmm. Play Paranormasight. Buy it if you haven't. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna hear this, but like fucking Paranormasight's really fucking good. Give it a try. All right.
Yep.
Ciao, ciao.